electricity, analyzed the chemistry of the stone, and commented he has no reason to doubt its authenticity. Yardeni, as well as Benjamin Elitzer, another expert in ancient Hebrew, studied the stone, published their findings in the Hebrew language quarterly Cathedra. Here's what you have. The tablet consists of two partially preserved columns of Hebrew writing. And it says some interesting things here, because it purports to be from the angel Gabriel, that somebody is writing down a prophecy that the angel Gabriel is revealing to them. Now again, this prophecy, specifically as it's written, does not appear in the Bible. This is a prophecy that was written down between the end of the Old Testament and the beginning of the New Testament. So the end of the Old Testament is written about 400 years before the beginning. You got about a 400-year gap in there. Well, within 100 years of Jesus' birth, within 100 years before his birth, you coincidentally have this stone tablet that somebody is writing down, purportedly a prophecy from the angel Gabriel, that Gabriel's given them a prophecy and they're writing it down. And this has been discovered in archaeology. So what kind of things are written on this tablet several decades before Jesus came to earth? A lot of it's smeared and wiped out and scraped off, but the parts that are readable, here's what it says, quote, "By 3 days you shall know that thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, the evil one has been broken by righteousness." All right, so by 3 days you shall know that thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, that the evil has been broken by righteousness. So in some way, evil will be broken by righteousness in a way that 3 days will signify this. Now, it's not clear that this is referencing the 3 days that Jesus was, after he was crucified and then rose from the dead 3 days later, but it is very interesting the way that was written as a prophecy, right? Anyway, it goes on to say that this will take place, quote, "in just a little while." I want you to keep in mind, at this point, folks, you're only a few decades before Jesus was born. Line 80 begins with the phrase, "by 3 days." It's then followed by the word "to live" or "to be resurrected." In other words, the Hebrew word that appears there, the ancient Hebrew word, can be interpreted to either mean to live or to be resurrected. So you have by 3 days to live, or by 3 days to be resurrected. And it says that this will cause you to know, thus saith the Lord, that evil has been broken by righteousness. Now, it could just be, because this isn't in the Bible, okay? So it could just be that somebody a few decades before Jesus was sitting down and just scribbling on some tablet and just happened to make references to the fact that evil is going to be destroyed, and that you'll know that evil is destroyed by something that takes place after 3 days that involves living or being resurrected, and all this is going to happen, quote, "in a little while." So I guess it could just be a coincidence that somebody just happened to write that down. Can I tell you what else is very possible? That somebody really did receive a prophetic word from an angel Gabriel, perhaps, and they wrote this down. You do realize that God has spoken prophetically and given prophetic words and given prophecy to people outside of what's in the Bible too, right? I mean, everything that's in the Bible is true, but that doesn't mean that there aren't true things that also happen that just didn't get recorded in the Bible. We're even told in Scripture that of all the miracles that Jesus did, there are many, many more that he did that weren't recorded, right? So there's a lot of things. There's a lot of areas where God has been active, and certainly in prophecy, and prophesying to people. and through people, in addition to what's been recorded in Scripture. If I had to bet money, if I were a betting person, I would bet that this is a legitimate prophecy, that in just a little while, this is all going to be happening. All right, there's some other things archaeologically that I think are kind of neat regarding the Bible I'm going to share with you next. And I do want to remind everybody, okay, if you're writing, because I know I hear from people, you complain, Bob, you talk too fast. I'm trying to write down as fast as I can. And folks, if you want all of this compiled in one place, it's all compiled in the Top 10 Proofs, okay? Just go to top10proofs.com. Everything I'm sharing with you now is in the Top 10 Proofs the Bible is true. I'm giving you probably 2% of everything that's in those CDs. But go to top10proofs.com. You can check all of that out for yourself. But if you don't want to get the Top 10 Proofs, that's okay. I don't mind giving you this information for free right over the air. And I'm going to continue giving you some more of it. And we'll do it next here on the Bob Duco Show.